Yeah, so just for the context, maybe for the listeners, the way we switched the focus and the way we went this direction, generally speaking, came from the fact that Akim was actually managing one of the family offices in the US of the Unicorn founder, and by doing this, we realized that despite the fact that there's differences in the wealth level of Unicorn founder in the US and the average user of the FFF, the problems are pretty much the same anyway. So everybody needs to, get tax optimization. Everybody needs to understand what to do in this. Everybody needs legal paperwork to be done correctly. Everybody needs taxation form to be filled. And then the issue is that, or the thing we discovered is that hyper wealthy individuals, they open family office and this solves their problem. So basically they spend a lot of cash and then all of the things get done. But when you look at the average FFF member, then the problems are the same, but the pockets are not as deep in most of the cases. So what these people do, they struggle a bit more and they're being underserved. So we started kind of drawing parallels. And then once the market crashed, the members started coming back to us asking questions which were related to the wealth management, like how do I rebalance portfolio? Have you guys looked into this? Do you have anybody suggest who can help me with this? And then we started thinking, okay, so if the issues are the same, maybe we can address those issues by kind of looking at ourselves as being this family office, but not serving one family, but serving family of the FFF, generally speaking, and offer the services of actual service provider being the middle layer being the middle layer in the middle. So here are the questions how this can be done, and here are the service providers who could solve this, and we would just be connecting and kind of adding value through the FFF to the members. And once we got deeper into this, so the first idea was to build the digital family office for tech professionals, and this is the bigger picture still. But after spending some time with local family offices, and very big thank you to Sten and David family office, who kind of brought us down to earth by saying, "Hey guys, think of starting a bit narrow and pick one direction where to focus on, and then grow the service offering." And the other kind of experts we addressed. We realized that the go-to for the digital family office would be to start from the very basics, to start from pre-liquidity planning and what happens post-liquidity for the tech people. And why are we focused on tech people is the fact that we are tech people ourselves. We know tech people. We have been working with the tech people, and we believe that tech people have certain patterns that make it easier to communicate compared to maybe some people who are working in classical companies or corporate who never were startups in the beginning. And I think that when we picked this direction and I started validating, so by today we've done, I think about 30 different interviews, customer development interviews with C-level people, with regular employees of the startups, with founders, with unicorn founders, with liquid people, with non-liquid people, actually way more if you combine all of this, not 30 interviews more. But and what we started realizing is that we're hitting the spot because this concern of pre-liquidity and how to manage this is actually speaking volumes to the people. So once we started an interview and we started asking, so how was your path? How did you plan the pre-liquidity? How did you start spending cash when it landed in the account? And what were the issues? People patronized had a lot of similar problems that they were facing. So nobody understood what is the difference if I will take out the options on my personal name or through the holding company? Through the holding company, you would save on taxation, at least in the moment, or it will give you more flexibility, and you would save the personal liability. So nobody was thinking about this when, for example, Wise went liquid. We spoke with a lot of people from Wise, and they kind of backed up the story that they were not ready when this happened because cash landed on the amount. They were like, "Oh hell, okay, so now I'm quite rich. What should I do with this?" And then you start improvising. Second of all, it's about the taxation. No, people didn't understand how how taxes are being reported, how taxes need to be looked into, and what is expected from them as now cash holders in order to comply with all of the needed regulations. So this was the second one. And third one is the huge bias of people from tech starting to invest in tech as expert angel investor from day one. So you have cash in the account, and first thing you do is you find 10 companies from tech, from the industry that you know, and you think, I've built this, I've successfully built this, now I can invest this as successfully. And then you start putting all of those 10K, 20K, 50 tickets to tech companies. And then when the market crashed like it did in 20 seconds, you end up with the position where you're like, crap, so am I going to get anything back from this or not? And you're not diversified enough. So they're kind of similar patterns, and we realized that by focusing on pre-liquidity and helping people who did not get to the liquidity just yet, this is the starting point of our product. And this is where we're focusing on, because when liquidity hits you and you're not prepared, it's already too late. The inflation will kick in, the panic aspect will kick in, and everything that comes along. So at the moment, we're focusing on making sure that our fellows from the tech industry who are not there yet